Hey friend, Chris Vandeviver here from WhyLogicProRules.com, the website that helps you get the most you can out of Apple's Logic Pro. Today I want to share with you 3 third-party applications that are not super expensive but can dramatically improve your workflow within Logic Pro. And we're not talking plugins, we're not talking EQ or compressors or anything else. These are apps that live in the background but greatly enhance your experience in Logic. And not only that, there's actually an exclusive offer by one of these companies, specifically to Why Logic Pro Rules subscribers and readers. So stick around for that at the end of this video. Cool, let's dig right into this. Number 1, let me ask you, have you ever wished that you could just type in the name of a plugin? You're thinking of a plugin you want to load, and instead of doing all the menu diving that we're accustomed to in Logic, you just type in the name of that plugin, it automatically loads up, and you're off to the races. You know, the menu diving that we're all accustomed to where you have to click on the audio effects or instrument or MIDI effects section and then go diving through menus. If any of us have a lot of Waves plugins or Universal Audio or anything like that, that's a lot of stuff to have to sift through just for that one plugin that you're already thinking about. Well, now you can thanks to the application PlugSearch by the developer Speakerfood. Instead of doing all this menu diving, all you have to do is hover your mouse over the audio effects section or the MIDI effects or even the instrument effects and then press Control. And just like that, a menu pops up with all of our plugins. So you just type in the name of a plugin you're thinking of. So I'm going to go with Amp Designer. And just like that, there it is. Hit return or enter. And an automation occurs that automatically loads that plugin into the audio effects for this channel strip. And now we're just going. No having to dive through menus anymore for the plugin you're already thinking about. The same can be applied to MIDI effects. So Control, just like that, we can pick the arpeggiator. Or if we get rid of the electric piano, Control, and let me search for something like the ES2. This is so amazing. I know this is a function that many of us have been waiting for in Logic, but in the meantime, until it's natively implemented, Speakerfood has the very cheap PlugSearch to get us going. Even better, let's say that we have a track that's in mono and we would like to instantiate a plugin in stereo on that mono track. Well, just press Command while hovering your mouse over the audio effects. And just like that, we'll pick the stereo delay plugin. And now stereo delay has been loaded as a mono to stereo instance. And the same can occur as well for dual mono plugins. So if I just hover my mouse again, press Command, and let's go with stereo delay again. It loads right up and it's in a dual mono format. So we can just double check right here. And lastly, we can even remove a plugin just by hovering our mouse over that plugin or instrument or MIDI effect and just press Control. And it's removed. I mean, how freaking amazing is that? And you can see that PlugSearch is living right up here in my taskbar. It runs in the background. So when you have Logic open, that's when it's functioning. And the setup for this is so easy. You just go to Logic Pro, go to Preferences, go down to Plugin Manager. And you can see right here that I have a folder called PlugSearch. We'll just remove this folder. Now, all you have to do is go up here in the category section, create a new folder, and name it PlugSearch. And then we go to Show All Plugins. And right in this section here, Command A to select everything, every plugin that you have on your system, and you drag it right into the PlugSearch menu. And this is how PlugSearch finds all the different plugins on your system through this one folder. So now that we're set up, it's super easy. Once again, just Control, and we'll look up something like Decapitator from Sound Toys. And beautiful, there it is. Number 2 on our list, let me ask you, have you ever wished that Logic offered more of a clip gain style of region gain adjustment? So if we go to this audio track here, go to the region section, and we can just turn these off. You know the gain parameter right here that allows us to adjust the gain of different regions? So if we split these two up, maybe I want to adjust this region relative to this region because you have a violin performance or a vocalist or a bassist or whatever, and they get very loud, they get very quiet at other times, and you want to stabilize the volume across the performance. But unfortunately, Logic doesn't offer us any sort of clip gain style of adjusting level. We always have to select a region, go to the region inspector. Well, once again, developer Speakerfood provides us another application that runs in the background called GainControl. And what it does is that you can assign specific key commands or even external controller assignments to adjust the gain of a region, either +1 or -1, or +3 or -3. Now, if we take a look at the application right up here, we can go to Preferences, And we can see here that I've assigned key commands for +1, -1, +3, -3, and even setting our region back to its default state without any gain adjustments. So I'm using key commands, Command Shift up or down to adjust by +1 or -1, Option Shift Command up or down for +3 or -3, and Command Shift 0 to reset the gain adjustments for a region. And again, you can set some MIDI controls as well. So let's see this in action. Let's take a listen to this violin performance here. Okay, so we get a sense. Obviously, these are a little quieter. So let's split this up. I'm going to use Shift Command up and just start bumping this up or down relative to the other regions. So now we can take a listen to that. So let's try bumping this down right there. Shift Command down. This is my key command that I've set. I'm using increments of +or -1. Pretty cool. Or we can jump in 3. So Shift, Option, Command. Ooh, yeah. And if we want to reset all of these regions, check it out. I'm just going to hold Shift Command 0, which is the one that I specified, and sets it right back to gain of 0. No longer do you have to jump between selecting a region, going to the region inspector, adjusting, and then, listening and then clicking on the next region and then adjusting. Instead, you can just assign key commands or MIDI controllers to make these adjustments. So now you can just quickly and successfully adjust the gain across an entire performance, much like clip gain in other DAWs. Major workflow enhancement in Logic. I love this. Now, the last application that I want to share with you is called Cherry Live Lite. Let me ask you, have you ever wished that you could easily and automatically let others know in your vicinity that you're in the middle of a recording? Have you ever had a situation where you're recording and then somebody walks in or makes a loud noise or, they're just not aware that you are getting some creative work done and they interrupt that work? Well, now you can, thanks to Cherry Live Lite connecting with Philips Hue light bulbs and other devices. If we take a look right in the taskbar here, we have another application running in the background, Cherry Live Lite. And what it does is it connects to your Hue light bulbs via a Hue bridge. And you can specify which light bulbs, which lamps, which devices are going to be connected to Cherry Live Lite. And then we set the color for each of the lights. What's going to happen is we're going to set a control surface within Logic for a recording light. And once you hit record, all of your Philips Hue light bulbs and devices will change to the color that you specify. In this case, it's going to be red. So my light bulbs are going to turn red to let folks know in my vicinity, hey, I'm recording right now. And it's an easy, automatic, clear indication of what you're up to in your studio. Cool. So in the app itself, I've set light 1 and 2. I have a color of red. And now if we go up to Logic Pro, go to Control Surfaces, Setup, right here, I have a recording light, but let's just delete it for now. So we're just going to delete it. And now we're going to go to New, Install, Recording Light. We're going to add that. And then under Output Port, we're going to set this to Cherry. And I just want to specify, if we go to Safari here, you need the bridge. This is required, regardless if your light bulbs are able to connect to your phone or anything else. You need the bridge for Cherry Live Lite to work. And then I recommend, obviously, that you get some of the light bulbs that change colors, and then you're off to the races. So what we're going to do is I'm going to mute this track. I'm going to record enable this track right here. So I need to set an input for it. And in fact, let's just get rid of that. Let's just do a MIDI track because it's easy. And when I hit record, my Philips Hue lights in my studio are going to turn red. And I'll bring up a camera feed right now of some of the lights in my studio so you can see what's going to happen when I hit record. Remember, Cherry Live Lite just runs in the background. We've set it up as a control surface, so it's good to go. I'm going to hit record, and we're going to see the lights change. Check it out. I'm going to hit stop. And my lights return to the color that was specified within the Philips Hue app. This is so awesome because you can set up lights all over your house or your studio. So if anybody's entering the studio or walking by the room that you're working in, or if they're just walking into the house, you can let those passerbys know that you're in the middle of a recording session. So easy. This is a once and done type of thing. And in fact, the developers of Cherry Live Light have been so cool to offer the first 20 WiLogic Pro Rules subscribers or readers who buy Cherry Live Light to use the coupon code LogicRules15 to get 15% off of Cherry Live Light when they purchase. Now, I just want to bring to your attention, if we go back to Safari, it is kind of difficult in the app to identify where you add the coupon. It's right here. Your total is $50, add coupon right here, and then move on to paying with your card or PayPal. These 3 apps are just so fantastic. Being able to deep dive into plugin menus, just type in the name that you're thinking, and boom, it's there. The ability to make gain adjustments, more so like clip gain features of other DAWs, and also the awesome implementation of using Philips Hue lights as a recording light without having to dig into MIDI switches and getting really technical about it. So I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, as always, I highly recommend subscribing to the YouTube channel, WiLogic Pro Rules, or subscribing on the website itself, WiLogicProRules.com. Every week I'm posting new videos, new emails, and posts to help you get the most you can out of Apple's Logic Pro. Thanks so much.